The co-main event, the strawweight championship of the world, Zhang Weili coming in at minus 300 against Amanda Lemos, sitting at plus 225. Over under 3.5 rounds, plus 165 for the over, minus 200 for the under. Zhang Weili coming in here after reclaiming the title against Carla Esparza. And that was like kind of just a matter of a time before Carla Esparza lost the title, because it wasn't really anything crazy that she did to gain the title. But either way, Zhang Weili gets the title back, and she's coming in here trying to defend it against Amanda Lemos, who is on a win streak of 2 and back-to-back finishes for her. Round 2 guillotine choke against Michelle Waterson, and a round 3 TKO against Marina Rodriguez. Before that, she was on a big win streak. And then she had a loss to Jessica Andrade, got submitted in the first round. But before that was on a 5-fight win streak. So she had the setback against Andrade, gets back-to-back finishes, comes in here against Zhang Weili. This should be a really good fight. I really do think it's going to be a fun fight, because both ladies throw hard. Like, these two chicks throw hard for 115, especially Amanda Lemos. 36 years of age, though, is like, this is a do or die. That's probably why she's getting the title shot, because she has a lot of potential, and she's 36. She's coming off back-to-back finishes. They're like, all right, this should be a fun fight. She gets the shot here. I think she's got a good chance. I mean, plus 220 is a wide number. I mean, we've seen women's MMA. Zhang Weili has looked really good, but I don't know if I can get behind that much chalk on her. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I agree. And obviously she's a scary fighter. I mean, dude, she's so talented and good, but we've seen her get beat by Rose Namajunas two times in a row in the first fight. Like, she got chinned. I mean, she got hit with that kick, and the lights went out for a second. She thought it was an early stoppage, but dude, she was out and her head smacked off the canvas. So I didn't disagree with it. And just seeing that alone makes me think that Lemos definitely has a shot, because she hits like a train, dude. When you look at some of her fights, I think let's see, she ended like 3 out of 4 of her first few UFC fights all ended in the first round. 2 by knockout, 1 by submission. Like, she had the what am I thinking? The Marina Rodriguez fight. Like, just that kick didn't feel like a hard kick, didn't look like a hard kick, but it was enough to right on the liver and put her down. And from the bottom, like, she's just a powerful girl all around. Weili, though, I mean, her game's so well-rounded and she's so strong. What she did to Joanna, what she did to Carla, I mean, those are 2 of the top-level fighters. I mean, say what you want about Carla. She is tough and durable and has a good wrestling game, and she could implement none of it against Zhang Weili. I think Weili's another one of those fighters, too, that is super dialed in. Like, she lives, eats, sleeps, breathes fighting. But I mean, you look at Lemos, you look at her Instagram and stuff, like, she's kind of the same way. You can tell she lives and dies for this too. I think it's going to be a way closer fight than what the line is looking like. Like, Lemos is a big underdog with how dangerous she is. That's the exact type of underdog you want to bet on, in my opinion. So a girl who can finish the fight anyway, a girl who can finish the fight at any time. It's super interesting, especially early. Like, you go and you look at Lemos's record. She has so many finishes for women's MMA. I mean, her last 2 are by knockout, submission, and then submission, KO, sub, decision, K. I mean, it just goes on. She's a very talented fighter. She's durable. She's, got some pretty good cardio. Can get the takedowns. I mean, anywhere this fight goes, she's going to be able to hang, in my opinion. So, Zhang Weili, I would think, would edge her out in a 5-round, decision. But at the same time, man, it's so hard to tell. For the pick, I'm going to stick with Zhang Weili, but like I said, betting-wise is a whole different story. I'm going to keep watching as the week goes on. I'm kind of undecided if I'm going to lay the money on the dog here or not, or what I'm going to be betting on this fight, but it should be an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't think I could play Zhang Weili at this number.
No.
Because Amanda Lemos is so dangerous, and we haven't really been able to see her up against like a former champion like this. I mean, she fought Jessica Andrade and got submitted by her, but I go back to that fight, I'm like, okay, it seems like she just got caught. Like, I don't see Zhang Weili going in standing arm triangle, Jessica Andrade. I just don't see that happening. It's also like a good learning lesson, because, I mean, at 36 years of age, she doesn't have that many fights under her belt, like 16 in total. I'm interested to see how she handles the moment because she hasn't been, at this stage in her UFC career. She's fought on one pay-per-view, and it was at the Apex. So, I mean, she hasn't been on a pay-per-view stage like this, let alone a co-main event of a pay-per-view. I mean, she's been in the 5-round fight with Jessica Andrade. She got finished in the first round, and then she finished a 5-round fight against Marina Rodriguez as well. But you look at like when she came in the UFC, she's fighting at 135, and she's knocking chicks out at one. She moved down from 135 to 115, and automatically she's getting like first round finishes. So I mean, she's definitely big for the weight class and hits very hard for the weight class. For Zhang Weili, I would expect her to be a little bit more active on the feet with the strikes, with the kicks. Lemos seems like she's just really looking for that one shot, or at least she's just throwing with more intent. Like Zhang Weili will touch you here and there with the kicks. I would also be very interested to see if she uses those kicks as much, because if you watch a lot of her fights, she'll kind of look to tap the front leg with her lead leg if they're both unorthodox. And when she does that, she kind of drops her hand a little bit. And Amanda Lemos got that big right hand. Like if she times that counter with the kick with the right hand, she could catch her with that. That's sort of what Rose Namajunas landed with the head kick, doing that. But if you go to those fights, like she won the split decision against Joanna, which was like an all-out war. Comes back, gets knocked out, loses to Rose again, split decision. Since then, she's won against Joanna, who took 2 years off and then retired, and then beats Carla Esparza, who had a kid after. So, I mean, I don't want to like downplay those wins because they're good wins and she's the champion, but I don't really like, I would say the win over Marina Rodriguez is better than a win over Carla Esparza at this point, because Carla, she's durable and she's got the good wrestling, but it's like, I don't know, she's not beating. She won the title because Rose gave it to her. Like at that point, it's not really that impressive. So it's tough to look at this price and get behind Weili at minus 300. Do I think she wins? I think she's got more paths to victory in this one. But Amanda Lemos is so dangerous, even with the submissions, that I don't think I could take Weili at minus 300. So for the pick, I'm going to go for the pick. I'm going to go with Amanda Lemos. I think with 5 rounds, I think she'll be live enough throughout 5 rounds that she could find a finish. So, I mean, for the pick, I'll take her as well. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, I guess.
When's the last time? I mean, these 2 title fights on this pay-per-view card, when's the last pay-per-view card with 2 sizable favorites that both won? Like, I feel like they never all win, the favorites. I mean, you look at Moreno, I think he was like minus 200 or so, minus 180. He lost. Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards. I mean, it's all these like crazy things that happen on pay-per-view cards, and this one might not be any different. So if you take both dogs in the title fights, I have a feeling one of them is going to cash.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all.